Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol was an enjoyable entry in the franchise, taking what made the third movie successful and greatly improving on it, bringing more wit, a great team dynamic, and actual impossible missions. Now, I was gonna do Rogue Nation by itself, but then decided, since Rogue Nation and Fallout are considered the best, fuck it, let's do both. And why not? Both were directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who thankfully turned out to be the right man to take over from Brad Bird, and both seemed to have a plot that was more connected. So let's not waste time flopping our dicks in the wind. Let's get to it, shall we? Released in July 2015, Rogue Nation sees Ethan and Benji, played by both Tom Cruise and Simon Pegg, go rogue in an attempt to track down a mysterious terrorist organisation named the Syndicate, with the help of undercover British agent Ilsa Faust, played by leggy lovely Rebecca Ferguson. But can Faust be trusted, and will Luther and Brandt find Ethan before CIA Director Alan Huntley does? With Cruise hanging off a plane for real, and an awesome suspenseful attempt to stop an assassination at the Vienna State Opera, this film wastes no time getting you invested. McQuarrie already had experience in helping the franchise realise its true potential after polishing the script in the last one, and here he definitely excels here as director, bringing us what the last one did, with more high-risk infiltration missions, thrilling chase sequences, and the lovely Rebecca Ferguson as undercover agent Elsa Faust. Sexy, tough, quick thinking, but also shows vulnerability as she desperately attempts to avoid blowing her cover in front of Syndicate leader Solomon Lane, played by an always menacing Sean Harris, who is a great improvement over Nee Chris Hendricks. He's ruthless, dangerous, smart, always in control, always 10 steps ahead, never once losing control. The dude shows he means business even without having to say a word. And I like how Ethan has become a bit more darker, more determined, looking like he may go off the edge if he didn't have his companions by his side to humanise him. Once again, the chemistry between the supporting cast works well, especially with Simon Pegg as Benji, providing a great comic foil to Ethan. And despite a single use of the mask, it still gets utilised in a smart, creative way. Yeah, Alan Huntley, played by a thankfully unarmed Alec Baldwin, is a little 2D. Lane's plan is a little cliched despite the Syndicate feeling like a genuine threat, and I am a little sad that Paula Patton didn't return as Jane. But the film knows what it is, and with Rogue Nation being the success it was obvious this wouldn't be the last we see of Ethan and his ragtag team getting into more hijinks. And more hijinks there were, as in July 2018, Mission Impossible Fallout was released. After Lane's capture in Rogue Nation, a new organisation named the Apostles has taken the place of the Syndicate. Now Ethan and his team, sadly lacking Jeremy Renner's appearance as William Brandt, must recover some stolen plutonium before it's too late with the help of Agent August, played by Henry Cavill, and his epic tash. McQuarrie's success with the last Mission Impossible movie was no fluke, delivering more what the fuck moments, such as Tom Cruise hanging off a helicopter, jumping across a building, or an anxiety-inducing skydiving scene where Walker is rendered unconscious after being hit by the storm, and Ethan must wake him up in order to pull their parachutes out in time. And after all the shitty material Henry Cavill has had to endure with the DCEU, he finally gets to shine here as August Walker, a much more darker and ruthless contrast to Cruise's more ethical Hunt. Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson return as Luther, Benji and Faust, and seeing them work together with Cruise is still fun to watch. Sean Harris ups the creep factor once again as Lane. Alec Baldwin improves as Alan Huntley, and Vanessa Kirby kills it as Alana, perfectly capturing the mannerisms of her on-screen mother Max, last seen portrayed by Vanessa Redgrave in the first Mission Impossible movie. And we also get to see Michelle Monaghan return as Julia, and it was surprisingly moving to see her and Ethan gain some closure. Okay, Jeremy Renner's absence is largely felt, and Faust and Lane are a lot less compelling than they were in Rogue Nation, but the film sets out to deliver what its audience expects: excitement, adventure, charming characters, and action that genuinely creates tension due to the lack of CGI and more of the practical effects modern movies are so missing. And out of all the films that came out in the franchise, These are both of the films that I considered the best. They were the perfect antidote to the Bond franchise that was starting to lose steam after overdoing the serious dark tone and losing its sense of adventure. Rogue Nation is fun, smart, and creative. Fallout is the same, but it might be bigger, darker, and more intense, yet it never loses its sense of fun either. So do check out both films, I guarantee you won't regret it. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern, English or not, thanks for watching and remember to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time for Dead Reckoning Part 1. But right now, that's me done and I'm off down to the pub.